Peace be with you. I'm OLU. Join me as we explore the accessibility of Baltimore, Maryland. Peace be with you. Today I am attending the USA Prophetic Conference held by CMFI USA Miracle Center, and this is held at the Marriott Hotel in Owings Mills, Maryland. So without further ado, let's take a look at the room. So the first thing I notice is that they have a peephole at eye level for someone in a wheelchair and for someone standing, which is great. The doorbell is easily accessible for a wheelchair user. It's low enough. The key for the room is really dope. All looking good so far.
So as you can see, I gotta put a lot of force.
First thing I do notice is this door is quite heavy.
This door.
I'm inside, and this room looks very nice. It comes with a safe. Now we're gonna pause to do a quick fit check, because it's 4th of July, and I had to let some people know how I can dress. I had to let some people know that it's not sweet out here. So look, we got the black, red, and white shoes, black pants, white with blue stripes t-shirt, red lanyard. All right, we did it. Red, white, and blue. Mission accomplished. Now back to the review. Something I want to note about this closet area is that they have a hanger rack for somebody who would be standing and for somebody who's using a chair. And this area here can also be used to hang clothes for somebody in a wheelchair. Very easy for them to reach and access, and this part is not too low. Some people might have difficulty bending, so perhaps control to open this lower drawer, but this has some very clear accommodations made. So the rest of the room, oh, this is nice. Now, I will say that everything appears to be at a reasonable level. Right here, this is excellent. This is control for this curtain right here, and it's very low. It's at arm's length. It's easy to reach for someone in a wheelchair, and if it's working, it should be easy to control as well. So one thing that's very important that a lot of people don't realize is that many disabilities affect hand use and mobility. So my hand, many people would think that I have full mobility in my hands, but this finger and this finger have had very severe difficulty bending at will for several years. And so having buttons instead of something that requires fine motor skills like knobs or switches makes this much easier. I can simply decide which one I want to control. I'm going to choose the sheer curtain, and then I'm going to press down. And it comes down. Very easy, simple to use. This control system gets an A+. Something that I noticed very quickly is that there are no surfaces that are extremely high in this room. This room is nice. This room is nice. Okay. Now you notice there are no very tall dressers. There's no surface that would be difficult for a person sitting in a wheelchair to reach. And you'll notice that all of the light switches and controls are low and easy for a person in a wheelchair or sitting down to reach. Now, I also want to note, this is very important, the space between the beds needs to be wide enough for a wheelchair, especially a wide wheelchair, to fit through. So let's see if that is the case. Yep, easy, with a fair amount of space on either side of the wheelchair. I have not actually bumped into either bed while moving forward. This means that somebody in a wheelchair can easily access both beds and transfer. Now, while that is not the case on the far side of this bed, over on this side, in between the second bed and this cot, there is enough space for a wheelchair, and the one I'm using is not a small chair. There's enough space for a wheelchair to very easily fit through, with space left on either side without the chair bumping into anything. And of course, switches are within arm's reach. Now again, the drawers are not difficult to pull out for an able-bodied person. Somebody with limited arm strength or limited mobility control might have some difficulty opening these just because of this little bit of resistance when opening the drawer. So I would suggest that for the drawers, the hotel consider a button that allows it to simply pop out. But that is not a major issue. And here we have storage space and the refrigerator. Again, just a little bit of resistance when I try to pull something. An able-bodied person or someone with upper body strength that I have would not have difficulty with, but some people with various disabilities might. We're gonna check the fridge. Perfect. I promise I'm not vain. I did just want to give you a close-up of my outfit. All right, back to the review. This is the bathroom, and it's a sliding door, which is quite easy to move. This is a big bathroom. Looks like the towels are within reach, which should not be too difficult. I'm going to see how much I need to bend over in order to reach them. And I do not need to bend over much at all. I actually don't need to bend at all in order to reach this towel. It looks a little further in, and this is reaching with a hand that has dealt with mobility issues and partial hand paralysis, and still I'm able to reach and pick up these towels with ease. The same can be said for all of the things on the counter. What have we got in here? Makeup wipes. Soap. Yes, so the sink area appears to be good. Yes, very accessible. As you can see, there's a huge amount of space between the toilet and this wall, enough for basically any wheelchair to be able to slide in for a transfer. And once the chair is right here, parallel to the toilet, again, this is easy to raise up. Now, the shower is the first place where I do see some issues, starting with the fact that there is no shower curtain. Now, this shower has made clear efforts to allow somebody with a wheelchair to simply roll in, which is excellent. However, many people do not want to shower in their wheelchair because it gets wet and they need to use it for the rest of the day. So having a curtain that you can close while keeping your wheelchair nearby prevents it from getting wet. It also prevents heat from leaving this shower area and radiating to the rest of the room, because that makes it much colder when you shower. There are some people who are very, very sensitive to temperature due to their disability. So keeping as much of that steam and heat sealed into the shower area where they are is actually protection for them. The second thing I'll say is these shampoo and soap bottles are too far away from the bench, and I will show you what I mean. All right, so I'm going to show you a transfer onto this shower bench, and you'll be able to see how easily I'm able to or unable to reach things. Alright, so these soap dispensers should be right here, where I could reach 1, 2, 3 very easily. Instead, I have to lean over and hold on to the railing in order to, almost slipped, in order to apply soap to just one, in order to just reach one of these. And the others, I mean, look, I'm essentially leaning to reach the second one, and the third one, I'm almost falling off the bench trying to reach the conditioner. So the placement of these soap bottles is a problem. They should be much closer to the bench, with the assumption that a person who's using this shower bench may have mobility issues, and leaning that far could present a fall risk. This is why the shower controls are right next to the bench. The other thing, this shower head, there's no way to adjust that one from down here. This one, however, is handheld and easy to reach, provided that nobody moves this thing all the way up and out of reach. But the shower is accessible, but this will have to get a much lower grade than the rest of the room for the sole reason of the soap presenting a fall risk, and because there's no shower curtain, and I'll show this later on, the chair has to be pushed quite far away in order to keep out of the range of the water spray. So it creates another fall risk for a person who has to reach very far for their chair, or just let their chair get wet because there is no shower curtain to prevent the splashing onto the chair. Okay, so I'm going to show you now the problem with with there being no shower curtain and with the soap being positioned so far away from the bench. So bear with me. Now, as you can see, the water is falling towards the middle of the shower. It's nowhere near me. I'm completely dry, except for one knee. But if we look down at where this water is splashing, it's overflowing already. As you can see, the footrests are already getting wet. Water is splashing them. And when I turn on this shower head, which is the one that someone sitting here would need to use to actually shower, since I can't lean forward to enter this water. It's too far away. So I would need to use this handheld shower head in order to shower. And when I do that, the water splashes even further out and risk getting the chair wet. As you can see, in order to simply grab something from the chair, like my phone, or press play or pause, I have to hold on very tightly to this bar. Some people do not have the grip strength or the upper body control, trunk control to do this, so this would be very, very dangerous for other people. That is cold. Okay, here we go. Now, the water is immediately spraying further this way towards the chair. And some chairs are not waterproof. Some people worry about rust because you don't get a new one of these every year. They're meant to last you several years. So in order to keep it dry, I need to push the chair further away. And I'm actually going to grab my phone first. Okay, so I need to push the chair further away because the water is reaching it already. And so without a shower curtain, the water reaches outside of this designated shower area, and I'm forced to push the chair further away, which means I have to lean very, very far in order to try and reach the chair. Just like I have to lean quite far in order to try and reach the soap. And this is just going to be very difficult to do with a washcloth. One other thing I have to say about the bathroom is the door presents some risk for really any person using it. So see how easily someone's hand can get pinched there? Somebody with reduced sensation or with reduced motor skills or reaction time could easily slam their hand in this, and it is just as dangerous in the other direction. There are no barriers to stop the door before the handle slams into something. So something as simple as a rubber or plastic or foam block here for a hand to push into, or on this side, so that a person's fingers would bump into something soft and resistant, and then they can simply let go. That would be an excellent solution. Overall, this room and its accommodations get a grade of B, which is accessible, and the place has made clear efforts to make it accessible. However, there are a few things that need to be worked on to make it truly perfect.